Hey, what's up, everyone? LTC here, and welcome back to another episode of Game Time TV. If you enjoy athletic-based content and want to hear more, please hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications to Game Time TV on YouTube. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at GameTimeTV19 and on X at GameTimeYT. Now, let's get started. Do you think most parents truly support their kids in sports or unintentionally create obstacles without realizing it to encourage personal insight?
I personally always felt fully supported by my mom in my sports. I was raised majority by a single mom. And so, like, if I wanted to leave a sport or start a new sport or get more serious about my sport, she always stood by me. Her joke was always, she'll do whatever as long as I compete well.
Yeah, I would say this. I would say the same thing. My mom and dad fully supported when I quit cross country after my sophomore year. They fully supported that. When I wanted to transfer my senior year for basketball, they supported that. Or even when I just played 1 year for volleyball, they were fine with that. So no, I've never. What's that face?
You play volleyball?
For 1 year, yeah, that's a thing in Illinois. Men's volleyball.
Men's volleyball?
Oh, men's
Yeah.
volleyball is huge in Illinois.
Yeah, it's a thing.
I
It's
did not
huge.
know that.
Yeah, there are some pretty good. There's some athletes in men's volleyball. Don't get me wrong, in Illinois. But yeah, I would say that I was always fully supported.
Okay. I would also say I was fully supported as well, even though my mom couldn't make it to the games because she was working. Because I was playing football Friday night, she's always working, so I didn't necessarily bother her. But I just knew that the time I always came back, she was always there to pick me up, and we talked about the game afterwards. Uh, do you think parents believe their role is in the athlete's journey? The answer to that is it could be yes, because there's no reason for an athlete to just like put away their parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't understand just because you're my parent, I'm not gonna just because you're my mom or dad, that doesn't mean that I'm not ba- basically I don't care about you.
Oh yeah. No, you should let your parents in.
Mm-hmm.
So, but there definitely can be a line. But
I was about to say, definitely, like, as someone who played a very mental sports such as wrestling, where it's like, if you were in the wrong headspace, you could potentially make the wrong decisions. Like, I would never like put my mom to the sidelines during my matches, but I would almost like compartmentalize my life into like little like spaces in my mind. So my mind would literally just be wrestling in those few minutes that I was on the mat.
Yeah.
But it was never fully like a lockout of my mom from my like wrestling life.
Okay. Do you think that matches what athletes actually what okay. Let's do that. Do you think that matches what athletes actually need from them?
In what sense?
Like like I said, talking about I don't really need you to be there, basically.
I guess it depends on how involved they want to be. Like, I know for certain kids on my team, like their dad was their like personal trainer. But for me, I never had that. I just always trained on my own and worked with my coaches.
Mhm.
But my dad was still, and my parents were still fully supportive. But I guess it depends on what role the athlete wants them to play, and just hoping that your parents would respect that role that they need to play in your life. So
Yeah. My mom did not know a lick about wrestling when I started. She did not know a single move. She did not understand any part of it. And so, yeah, she was literally just there to cheer me on. I mean, she could tell when I was doing well and when I wasn't. And so she was purely just there to to keep me grounded because I had good days, I had rough days. And so, yeah, like just being there in general, whether they are your personal trainer, whether they are someone that is like a senior in your sport, like them just being there is important.
Exactly. I 100% agree with both of y'all because even let's say okay, so even before I moved down to Oklahoma, I was McMillan Middle School in 2016, and I was playing football there. I always remember that I was living with my grandfather at the time, and he would always show up to every single one of those games whenever he had the time. And whenever he did show up, he was always encouraging me to do better and to basically do my best. And that's what athletes should. Was that a bad? Let me not pick that up. Please don't tell me that I picked it up. It's important for a parent to, even though, like you said, because the personal training and stuff, like even outside the personal training, it's important for a parent to show up to the child's games.
Yeah.
Just to show encouragement and to show that just to give the athlete encouragement. Like there's nothing wrong with that. And I believe that's what parents should do. Now, of course, if a parent can't be there, there's always gonna be something. Like even after like whatever the game or the competition is over with, it's important for the parent to at least like get involved with something. Like just ask like how their kid was doing within the game or within the competition. You know, like I'll just take that off. No. I'm gonna keep it in, but I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna say and then move on. Have you ever seen a situation where parents' intentions were good, but the impact wasn't?
Yes. Especially like I've done multiple sports. I mean, we talked about this last episode, how I just was always bouncing around.
Mhm.
And I have seen throughout so many of them where a parent tries to comfort their kid after a loss. Like, especially once you get into the high school, potentially bridging into collegiate, like losses hit harder. They never get easier. And the worst thing that you can do is smother your kid after a loss. Because me personally, if I lost, my immediate thing was to just go isolate myself, replay every step I took, and then calm down. So if someone tried to step in between that, it's like pulling the pin out of a grenade, because I have so much pent up emotions that the first living creature I make contact with, I'm gonna snap. And it's not something I admit was healthy, but it's something I had to convey to my coaches, to my teammates, and especially to my mom. Because there was one time where my coach tried to comfort me after a bad loss. And I'm still ashamed to say this, I chucked my headgear at him.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, I can't necessarily falter for that because even when it came to my losses, when it was either from wrestling, football, or track and field, I was relatively like a little bit more mellow. But I think when it came to my senior year, for sure, when I did have those senior emotions, those losses hit a lot more harder to me. And my when it, I would say that actually, you know what? This doesn't really answer the question. My side of things. You answered the question for sure. So I'm going to move on from my side. David, you got anything?
I think for me, something that I did that was always healthy, because I did two team sports, and again, cross country, I just did it for, like, I've done an individual sport, so I can attest that. But I was just more trying to beat my personal record than anything. But all the sports I've played on, they were team sports. So I knew my mindset was, I laid everything out on the court and we still lost. There's nothing more I could have done, because it's a team sport. One person can't win the game. So I would be mellow, but I definitely was not chucking my basketball shoes at my coach. So, but
Headgear is a lot easier to get off than basketball shoes.
I'd be shocked. So, but yeah, I definitely
Sometimes
say
even having like a helmet is slightly difficult.
I would definitely say you give that athlete time, and you got to give that athlete time to cool off. But if they're acting like it the next day, tell them to like get off.
Yeah.
They need a couple hours to decompress. But
45 minutes. Like, depending on how big the workup is, like, especially in a turnaround sport like wrestling, where you might only have 45 minutes to an hour before your next match.
Oh, okay, that's a fair point.
that's different.
You need to be letting that loss go.
Yeah,
That's
But
different.
yeah,
That's different.
because I can for sure say when it came to like football, you
take the evening.
you take the entire.
You take the evening and then you back at it the next morning or the next day. So
because I remember when it came to my worst loss, I definitely was like just completely out of it. And I was like really hurt, and my mom, like, even though she did really care and she did really support me, she told me, was like, come on, like I got to do better. Like saying you still gonna, even though you took an L, you still gonna go to school. So it's like, you don't sit there and sulk, because like life's just gonna keep moving on. Yeah. And like, you can't just sit there and just sulk all day and all night. I just actually thought about this. When a parent, I remember one time a parent got on.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah, got on a kid's neck, and it was on the opposing team. A parent got on the opposing kid's neck because he wasn't running the ball effectively.
parents, you are not coaches. You are not refs.
I'm like,
stay off.
I'm going to let you know right now.
Don't ruin your kid's little league game because you're pissed off at the
Yeah, like don't do that. Come on now.
If you are there watching your kid, no matter what athletic background you have, you are a parent and nothing else.
Exactly. You're not the coach. You're not the referee.
Yeah.
You're not the back judge. You're not the line judge. You're nothing. You're not an official.
Yeah.
If you want to be that, go be that. If you're a coach and your son and daughter is in a competition or in a game, I can see that. If you're not a coach, if you're not a ref, if you're not some kind of umpire, don't just snap on your kid like that.
Yeah, please don't. It doesn't help at all. Now, what I can say, there is stepping on a kid's neck is crazy. Like you said, he did what to the neck?
No, he didn't step on the neck.
It's metaphorical.
Oh. No. I'm misunderstanding what I'm saying. He wasn't running the ball. Like he just wasn't getting yards.
So parent yelled at the kid.
Basically.
Okay.
So it's like, something small like that. I'm like, dude, like, I understand you want to push your kid, but like, slow down.
Yeah.
Slow down. And I'd rather not talk about how many yards that guy got afterward. But
smoked your team. Answers that one. All right.
Yep.
All right.
Question.
Now we are getting into our first official segment. Why kids play sports? And the first question is, why do most kids start playing sports in the first place?
Because their parents are tired of them sitting at home and they want them to do something. Literally, that's what my mom told me. We're like, we put you in basketball and soccer so you'd get out of the house, so you don't become fat, bro. So you don't become fat, bro.
No. My mom was afraid of me becoming a social recluse. She was like, we started doing gymnastics at 2.5, and all of a sudden you were having play dates every other week.
Exactly. Hey, some of my best friends still come from that. So
yeah, I was about to say sports in the beginning is literally just an opportunity for you to meet people.
Yeah.
Because like at that point, you're not going to see a 3-year-old doing something absolutely crazy and elite.
It's just fun.
Exactly.
But I mean, even when I was at some of my best friends I've met, I met them at the rec. I'm just playing basketball and I just meet them. It all starts with that that social factor and that not wanting to be bored.
Yeah.
So I'll be bored and I'll be like, oh, I don't have homework. What do I do? So I just go and play. I literally just go and play basketball.
Sports.
No, you continue.
Sports is that bridge between people because me and you might have nothing in common, but if we're both at the court shooting hoops, all of a sudden we have something in common.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And okay, so I don't quite remember when it came when I first started doing sports, because I remember my brother told me that. So I was in foster care for a little bit, and my brother told me that I was playing basketball and I kind of made this whatever the team squad was, but I just never showed up to practice, which I don't remember at all. I remember playing basketball, but I don't remember like not going in any practices. But I would say my grandfather and my mom probably were thinking the same things, like just to get me out the house. And that's my first sport I've ever officially played was football.
Yeah.
And you know what? Even though I hated it for a little bit, came back to it, loved it a lot. Also came with just playing other sports, soccer, baseball, basketball.
I actually think my first sport was Little League, like T-ball. I actually think that was the first thing I
I
did.
feel like for boys it's always t-ball, and for girls it's always like soccer and gymnastics.
Okay, yeah.
Like I feel like those are everyone's like first sports, but it's like it typically is a sport that you leave and don't return to.
Yeah.
I know some girls who have played soccer since they were 3 years old, or you're me, where I started playing soccer when I was 3, left when I was like 5, and never turned back.
Fair point.
I think I played from 5 to when I was like 9 or 10. And
You know what? I'm just not thinking about this because technically kickball is a sport, but it's just it's something that like
that's a gym activity.
So it's a sport if you're over 40 and need a workout.
goodness gracious.
The only
What about that?
you unk, bro.
Yeah.
Unk.
Yeah.
I'm 1 year older than you, and I think 3 or 2 years older than you.
You said you're 20?
One.
You're 21? Yeah.
Yeah.
You said you're 04, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're 2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm big, bro.
Bro's already.
I'm big, bro. I am big, bro.
Bro's already. No, bro's already playing 45-year-old sports. I don't want to.
Oh yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, I haven't played kickball since
you played
elementary
kickball.
school.
You played kickball in gym class. That's why you played.
Elementary school, yeah. That's the last time I played that.
That's not a first sport, though. That's something your gym teacher.
That's a part of your curriculum. That's not a sport.
That's what your gym teacher tells you to do.
Yeah.
Or like for.
You're talking about actual sport.
Yeah.
Hey, that's fair.
Anyways, moving on.
So moving on to the second question. Is it usually about fun, competition, or something else?
I mean, it starts out as fun.
It starts out as fun.
I don't think I've met a kid that's like fully driven to a sport day one. Like they just kind of do it because their parents put them in that.
I have seen Tiny Tykes wrestlers 4 or 5 years old that and go onto that mat for blood. So
I guess it depends on like how your parents like.
Yeah.
If your parents were like wrestlers and you wanted to get into it, I guess that's different. But like, if you want to start, if a kid just wants to start a sport alone, I think it's just for the fun.
Oh yeah, that's how it was with swimming.
Majority is, I think so.
I mean, I enjoyed being in the water, so I told my mom I wanted to start swimming, and I did, and it was fun. So yeah, I mean, like fun and socializing. I don't think it starts as like I feel like kids learn how to be competitive through sports.
Yeah.
They don't enter sports competitively, especially depending on the age you start. That is your first kind of taste at competition, unless you have really awful older siblings.
Fair.
My brother did. Oops. Sorry, Jonathan. Sorry about that. Not so much towards Maggie, but sorry, Jonathan. I had to whoop you when we were younger. So,
well, unfortunately, I had an older brother who was a wrestler, and I did not want to.
You didn't want to mess with him?
No, even though when I got older and I got taller than him, it was always let's step out into the front. Why? Because I want to box you, bro. And you know what? We actually did box. And I did all right. I didn't mind it, but it was like, oh, okay, I didn't mind it because I'm like, bro, why we all... It's always, every time he came over to my mom's house where I was living there, he was always, let's go out front and box, bro. Why? Why?
Jeez.
I just want to box. Can I not box my little brother? I'm like,
no, not really.
I can attest to that. So I grew up apart from my
I love you, bro. I love you, Jaden.
I grew up apart from my younger brother, and there would be times where we would just like be standing in the room, and all of a sudden just start catfighting. absolutely no reason, like throwing hands, throwing each other to the ground. And then we would get up and we would like be like, oh, well, that was a fun 10 minutes, and then go downstairs and be completely normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's typical sibling behavior.
That's how siblings are. So,
Yeah.
and if you're not like that, you're doing it wrong.
Shout out Cameron.
At what point do you think that experience starts to change for some athletes?
For me, it changed for me my middle school year when I made it onto my feeder team, and I was 5'4", chubby, but like not like it did nothing. But at that point, I was like, you know what? I kind of want to take this seriously. Like, I kind of want to actually be good. So I asked my coach for pointers. And he helped me. And then I grew 6 inches that summer, and it just blossomed from there. So I kept. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Can you guys even like explain like that change? Like,
I can.
You just get a drive one day.
For me, it was when I started cheerleading, because shout out to anyone who is thinking about competitive cheerleading. It is that or a mortgage on a house. And so I got really serious when I started realizing that my mom was working overtime to be able to afford the travel, the uniform, because it is something that I loved. And so I not only wanted to win for myself, but I wanted to win for my mom.
Yeah.
And so that is when it started becoming important to me, because it is an all or nothing sport, and it is a team sport, but you literally get judged on everything. If your hand is in the wrong spot, if your hair does not move a certain way, if your toes are not pointed, you will lose points, and losing points can potentially cost you a competition. So that's when I started getting serious, because I might be on a team with 16 other girls, but those judges are looking at the moves that every single person makes.
It's interesting.
For me, I just woke up with a drive to do it. I don't even know how to explain it. I think I just got. I don't know if it's just like I wanted to be better than everybody at it, or just be better in general. But I just woke up with a drive for it.
I think I have that same equivalent, but I also I kind of, when I officially started doing football again, because it was like a longer hiatus. Because I didn't officially pick up the football again until I was in 7th grade. And I don't know how I really got started again on how that drive went, but it was just something I always just wanted to continue to do, because once I started, I just never stopped. There wasn't a reason to. Unlike when I did with wrestling, because I didn't know when I did in 7th grade, I wanted to do it again, but I couldn't because I didn't know what the wrestling schedule was at the new school. So it's a bit harder. But yeah, once in 7th grade, once I got started, I just didn't stop until after I graduated high school.
Yeah.
And I still remember for sure, like, I think one of the main proponents was since I'm in middle school and I was watching Nebraska football in 2016, and that was the last time we were like actually like officially elite.
Hey.
With Tommy Armstrong Jr. and Jordan Westerkamp. Oh, bro. Ah, man, I miss those days. But, you know, it is what it is, and I have a feeling we're not going to come up again. But I remember watching that 2016 squad, and I was like, yeah, I can do it. And you know what? I wasn't that bad at football. You know what? That's why I just continued to do it. Now, what are the signs that a kid is no longer enjoying their sport? Now, my question with that is kind of like, it goes both ways. Is, what do you mean by not enjoying? Is it like they just hate it, or they just, now it's like, I'm just ultra competitive? It's like, I don't go for the joy, I just go for the competition. So I kind of go like either.
Yeah. For me, I quit cross country because it was so anxious. I got so anxious about it the night before that I started having like even like panic attacks. Like, it got so bad. So like, it made it hard for me to even enjoy the sport. So, and I feel like even if someone who is ultra competitive in it, they still have joy in doing it.
Okay.
So I just feel like it's losing the love for it. So, but for me, yeah.
I was about to say, as someone who I have never willingly left a sport. There has always been a circumstance that has led to my departure of the sport. So I have never woken up and been like, yeah, I think I'm done with this sport. Like no. But as someone who has been ultra competitive, such as when I was a wrestler, yeah, I still had joy in it. I still loved going to meets. I still loved being around those people. I still loved going to practice. But that joy was very circumstantial.
Yeah.
I think that's the word.
Yeah. If you end up quitting a sport, it's something that culminates over a period of time.
Mm-hmm.
So like she said, it's not just something that you wake up one day and you're like, oh, I'm done. No, it's something that comes over time.
Yeah, because you know what? I'm gonna tell a personal story. It was gonna be a quick one, and I also referenced this in season 1 when I did talk about how my high school career went. I remember, especially in my senior year, I was coming off an injury that it was stupid the way how I got it, and I shouldn't have gotten it. And I was already kind of emotional already, like because like the senior year stuff. And I remember there was this thing because there was preseason stuff because there was like a preseason tournament in football that was going on in Oklahoma, and in that preseason, I there was multiple things, but I embarrassed myself, so that was kind of already strike one. Like I embarrassed myself bad. Two, within that embarrassment, I had to get pulled out of the game because I was cramping all over the place. 3, on in our first official game, I was doing all right, but then there was like small little plays that happened that I immediately like my emotions just was just bad because you know how in Nebraska football is like what's next. I did not have that mentality. I was still stuck in that previous play.
Yeah.
And it low key affected me, and it kept happening throughout that first game. And I did not do good that first game at all. And it got to a point to where I felt myself like I was failing my teammates. I'm supposed to be the senior of the group, and I'm just failing everybody. And I excuse my language when I say this. Coach told me to get my head out of my ass. Unfortunately, I did not get my head. I was still like feeling like crap.
Yeah.
And I remember I had my teammates getting on me that entire time because I wasn't doing my job correctly. And it's like, I already know I'm not doing my job correctly. Why are you telling me that? Like I'm already feeling crappy.
Yeah. I hate when teammates.
Yeah, I'm already feeling crappy, and you're telling me that, and that's just gonna make it worse. It's like now my teammates already acknowledged that.
Yeah.
And I kid you not, and this is probably something that a lot of people okay. A lot of people hates hearing what I'm about to say next because like it's not manly and basically men's are not supposed to show emotions. But from the bus drive home to back at my house after my mom dropped me off and she had to go somewhere, I remember I was just crying the entire time because I knew I did terrible and it's all on film. It's going to show how bad I did. Even though I had coaches telling me, he's like, technically you didn't do that. I was like, come on, like don't play with me. Yeah, I did terrible.
I hate when coaches hit you with that. Well, technically, like, there is no technically. Either I did good or bad. Please do not try and sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
And I kid you not, I did not go to school that next day. That's when my mom told me to again get my head out of my ass. Because like I shouldn't be down and out.
Yeah.
And that right there, the combination of my high school career and then led up to that point, the enjoy that I had for the sport was gone.
Mm-hmm.
Out that night killed that. Even when I was playing, when I played that second game, I have never looked at a clock and say, I hope this clock goes down fast. I never thought that in my mind. I never thought about that. Because I was usually like, I don't care what that clock says. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do my best. I had that thought always. I had that thought always. Until that second game, I was like, this clock needs to go down faster. I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
And I just had like such a disinterest, like playing football after that. And the moment I quit, my coaches, like, they tried to tell me, it's like, come on. It's like, you don't want to go out the right way in your senior year, basically. And I was like, Coach, I think I'm done. Because I don't have that same love for it anymore.
Mm.
And I was like low-key getting depressed. There is some stuff along with that also kind of triggered it, but I ultimately left the team 3 games in.
Mm.
And the last game I played was the best. It's crazy how, like, whenever you play your last down is the best I'm ever willing to play.
Mm.
So, yeah, it was just that little small little story about me. And, yeah, I quit, but like I said, I was just dealing with things mentally. So, and that's why I would say, like, that's how you could tell someone's not enjoying their sport. If they, like, you can tell, like, they're just interested. They're not going 100%. And they're just, like, they're just in just pure disinterest. They just don't care anymore. That's how you can tell as a kid is no longer disinterested, no longer interested in their sport anymore.
Yeah.
Do parents recognize when that shift happens, or does it get overlooked? My mom definitely recognized it immediately. And that's what my mom told me. She's like, you don't need to be on that. You don't need to play football anymore if that's what's going on. If your teammates is doing that to you, you don't need to play football anymore. Because those are supposed to be your teammates.
Yeah.
What are they doing trying to put you down?
I had a similar situation like that happen in cheer with my teammates just kind of not being teammates to me. And my mom was oblivious. I made sure of that because I still wanted to be on that team, regardless how they cared about me, what they thought about me. And so like subconsciously, I was protecting my teammates from my mom because I knew my mom would have pulled me out of that sport so quickly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like she was not gonna have it. And so yeah, like it wasn't until after my cheer gym closed and thus leading me to leave cheer that I told my mom about it, and she was shook because as far as she knew, me and my teammates always posed for the pictures. We always tagged each other. We always smiled. We always talked about hanging out after practice. And it was like, she was like, I thought you guys were thick as thieves. I'm like, nope.
Mm-mm. Absolutely not.
So I think parents see what you let them see.
Why are girls so good at doing that comparatively to guys? Girls are so good at faking friendships for no reason. If I dislike somebody, you'll know.
Exactly. Like,
You
I don't
will read that on my face, bro. It'll not be hard to tell if I like you or not.
I mean, even though we've been friends for like this majority of the school year, whenever I like don't like somebody, I'm just gonna be honest here and excuse my language when I say this. I will tell it to you directly like this. I don't fucking like you.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
Well, you see,
Why are girls so good at that?
well, completely off topic, a little tangent here.
Mm-hmm.
There is so much gossip in this world that if we keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Mhm.
So keep your friends close and the girls you really hate closer
Mhm.
because you will learn so much more. about spending time with people that you do not like. Because I've done it before. I've spent months. I stopped talking to this one girl and she was like, we've been friends for 3 years. And I'm like, you think we've been friends for 3 years?
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. Like it would drive me insane to hang out with somebody that I hate. Not even hate, but just even like dislike.
Yeah.
It would drive me insane.
I mean, I'm kind of just like you as well, because even besides what I said earlier, like I will either say it or I will just like.
If I dislike you, it's hard for me to even like form a couple sentences
like,
to you.
Don't talk to me, bro. Like, don't talk.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk to you, so why are you talking to me?
Yeah. Going back to the question, just kind of what she said. The kids kind of control what the parents know, unless you have helicopter parents who just somehow know everything. So
Helicopter parents do not know everything. If you are a helicopter parent and think you know everything, you are not raising an angel. You are raising a liar.
Yeah. Any parents out there, if you're trying to be a helicopter parent just to like stay on top of your kids and everything, if you stay in the loop, give your kids space, because you're just teaching them, like Hallie said, you're teaching them how to lie. You're teaching them how to lie.
I would like to give a shout out to my amazing mom. She would let me do whatever I want within reason, and now she has to deal with 5 phone calls a week with detailed updates of everything I did that day.
I was about to say, my parents gave me space. I was like, I'm so ready to get away from them. Now I call my parents like 2-3 times a week outside of our scheduled call on Sunday. So it's like the closer you are, the actually further you'll push them away, because kids just they want some freedoms.
Yeah.
So,
and I will definitely like to shout out to my mom, because she let me do whatever I want, even though that okay, I hate saying this, was being the youngest child.
Yeah, did you get spoiled?
Were you the golden child?
Are you spoiled?
Pedestal.
No. Between me, my brother, and my sister, none of us got spoiled. Even though people some people claim that I got spoiled. I'm like, no. The only way I would get spoiled is that I just learned from my brothers and sisters. That's the only time.
Yeah.
I learned.
I'm the test child. That's what my parents called me. I'm their little guinea pig because they tested me for everything.
Yeah. See, I'm the first niece and I'm the firstborn of the firstborn. I didn't know what the word no was until I was like 13.
That was my first word in the world, was no.
And so, I was put on a little pedestal, and I still sit on that pedestal.
I was not.
Yeah,
I was tested.
No, yeah. When it came to my mom, it wasn't us. My mom, I think she treated all of us. Okay. Yeah, she treated all 3 of us similar. So there was no like spoiling or anything, and I just didn't get into trouble. I didn't get into trouble at all, and she just trusted me on that. Because she would definitely, let's say if I did get arrested, she would definitely be concerned, like, what the heck did you do? Because it would rarely happen. But that majority of that is her trusting me and like giving me space so I could navigate this world. And you know what? Every time she calls me, every time I call her, if she calls me, I'm always going to pick up.
Yeah.
Unless I'm like busy doing something, then I'll call her back later, but I'll always pick up the phone.
Yeah. All right. Segment 2.
Sideline behavior.
Read the first one.
Yeah.
That first one.
Open this can of worms.
What do you think parents should be doing during games?
Now, as someone who goes to his siblings' games, I am kind of obnoxious. Like, I'll be like, yeah, get him. I'll be like, what was that? I think that's all you can do.
Yeah.
You are allowed to cheer. You're allowed to be like, what was that? But outside of that, you're crossing lines.
Yeah.
Not my siblings, but the athletics. Since I work with athletics, a lot of those guys I am extremely close with, and I am on the sidelines. And there have been some times where people will look at me like I'm absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
But there's definitely
But there's a line.
there's a line. There are things that I will never yell. There are things that I will never do. So while I might be yelling to get them or do well or do this, like there have been things that I have heard that would never. So if you're a parent, cheer on your kid. Let them know you're there.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But do it respectfully because your kid is also going up against another kid whose parents is probably doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to be honest, I have nothing to say to that because I mean, both of y'all just hit on those points, and I mean, I would basically say the exact same thing. Like, I think the worst situation I've seen, and this wasn't even happening at my high school. This was something I found on the internet. Is it was Little League games?
Oh,
not even Pee-wee specifically.
You could not put me in a Little League or a Pee-wee game with those parents.
There was this one headline.
you would be throwing hands.
This was years ago, so keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. There was a headline talking about make a long story short, parent pulled up to another parent with a gun over a Little League game.
Oh.
So I'm over here like, it's not that serious, bro.
Oh.
It is not that serious. It was either a parent or it was a referee. But still, it's still bad. What are you doing?
Not matter what. A gun?
And I'm like, bro, come on now.
Now,
Come on.
Now, what was the make and model?
Oh,
What was the gun?
This was like in high school. I would have no recollection of the details now. I just know for sure it was a headline in high school.
Bro pulls up with an Army Ranger sniper.
no. Desert Storm.
Just put up with a 9 and say, hey, we can get it cracking right now. I'm like, oh, no.
Oh, God. All right.
Okay.
That's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah. Is yelling from the stands ever helpful, or does it usually do more harm? Usually it's more. It depends on what you're doing. It depends on what you're yelling.
It depends on the sport.
Yeah, I was about to
Tennis,
say.
you can't even yell. Like, I went to my sister's sport.
Right.
I went to my sister's tennis match in high school. This is the first one I ever been to. She was a freshman. And I was like, yeah, Max. And my mom's like, shut up. You can't even do that. I'm like,
Yeah.
Because I'm from an obnoxious sport. So like basketball, it's fine because the student section's doing it, our student section's doing it. Yes, parents get into your kid's game. It just depends on the sport. But baseball,
yeah, and like cheer, we have to listen to our music. Like,
yeah,
you're gonna see our parents like waving around.
I was about to say
You're not gonna hear them.
No.
And then like even with wrestling, like there are multiple matches going on at once, but there is never more than like 8 people. There might be 4 mats, so there's 8 people wrestling at once. So that's potentially 8 sets of parents, and then of course the coaches. So like in that sport, if you were yelling something, it is going to be heard.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Because there is, again, shout out to my mom. Bless her heart. Oh my goodness. There is one match where she is yelling these, like she's on a balcony looking down, and it was district. So this is what determines if I go to state.
Oh gosh.
And she is yelling these atrocities because this is a girl that is in the beginning eating, pardon my language, my ass. She is handing it to me on a silver platter. And my mom, the video that she's taking, camera shaking as she is jumping up and down and using every known curse word.
Oh.
I could not hear her because she's on a balcony. But just remember that there are other people around you.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And that once we walk away and they see that you are my parent, that is linked to me as an athlete.
Yeah.
I think that, all right, you know what? Now that you said that, parents, that is something you do need to be aware of, is that whatever you say, whatever you do, it is going to be leaked back to your child.
Well,
and you can say that.
Football might not be.
No, it's still linked.
Oh, yeah.
Does it?
Because like once you walk out of the locker room, you're either going to find your girlfriend or your parents.
Or your car.
Fair point. But I'm just, it's going to link back to your kid, even though there are probably going to be some parents like, they don't give a damn about that. I'm like, you should.
You should.
Because now you're going to have these college recruits and it's like, is that your mom or is that your dad? Why are they acting like that?
Oh, yeah.
Like, they're just super fans and stuff.
Cheer, yeah. There's an obnoxious point, and it depends on the sport. I think we've established that.
I like because I know because I didn't know in tennis that
You cannot
you can't do
talk.
that.
It
I know
is a silent sport.
Yeah, and I know for golf you can't really talk like that.
No.
You can clap after they or whatever.
Yeah,
And that's the same with tennis. Like you can clap after they've won the point, but other than that, during the match, that is not happening.
does
That's why whenever if you watch like tennis on TV, it's so quiet, and that's why the moaning is so loud from the girls or guys on the floor. So
And it's literally just
what?
like looking
Oh,
back.
yeah.
Like that is the
You just
only-
you just hearing the ball
Yeah.
just
Yes.
yell.
Exactly. So
Does bowling count as like a silent sport? You can be kind of loud with that.
I don't know. I'd have to ask my dad on that because he's a bowling coach.
I was about to say my
That's
dad.
exactly why I was looking directly at you.
My dad's a semi-pro bowler, and
Oh,
like I whenever like I watch him, like you hear people talking, and of course the sound of like the balls and the pins.
So maybe it's not, but it's probably not like a cheering sport.
Nah.
no.
So it's more talkative than tennis probably, but it's probably just like people talk, like banter. So
Yeah.
Fair. That's fair.
So I think it depends on it depends on the sport, but there's an obnoxious level for even the loudest sports, for even football. Cross country, I hated the bells. I hated them so much. Ever I ran past those, I just wanted to grab them, throw them on the ground. I was like, just cowbells, just
Yeah, cowbells is a huge thing with cross country.
cowbells can piss off. So
I just now thought about this because I didn't even know about it until I was in high school, and it doesn't really who really cares in college, but it's kind of similar. But if you're in track and field and you're on the throwing side, if you're throwing whatever, you're technically supposed to shut up.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the people around you are supposed to shut up.
you
And
gotta,
like,
you gotta let them focus. Yeah.
I didn't really, because I was doing the throwing and I didn't really think about it. But when I was throwing a disc or when I was throwing a shot put, I didn't necessarily think about like the loud noises, except for the gun.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that would break my focus. You know what? Now that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of
So
sense.
I say when I was throwing, we always had like a JBL speaker going.
Yeah,
So
yeah, absolutely,
All right. Well, I think that explains that question.
yeah,
absolutely.
wraps up pretty nicely.
Now, because this kind of leads us to the next question: why is coaching from the sidelines a problem for athletes?
For parents or
For parents,
Oh.
coaching them.
oh well, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. You already have their little coaches on them,
Mm-hmm.
like excuse my language, on their class. They don't need you on their class. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think that one's pretty self-explanatory.
Especially with sports like wrestling, where your coach is literally in a corner 5 feet away from you.
Yeah.
Like I barely hear his voice. I barely listen to what he is telling me. I do not need to be hearing anyone else's voice, and I do not need to be trying to focus on what you're telling me
Yeah.
to do. Because my coach might be yelling a command to me. I'm not going to listen to it. It might cost me the match, but I don't have time to focus in on his words because if we're 1 second, my focus breaks, I'm on my back and it's over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can get, and for sure, especially in football, because literally the position coaches are going to take you aside and
Yeah.
let you look at whatever play it is so you can like review yourself. If you're a parent and you're yelling at your kid to do better or to coach them and whatever,
They won't be able to focus on that.
exactly, because whatever the coach might want me to do, it's probably going to override. It might combat whatever you're trying to say.
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, let the coach coach.
Yeah.
Don't try to put your two inputs on it. After the game, you can probably say something.
No, don't.
I said probably.
I was about to say.
Let them decompress.
I was about to say, if I get off the mat, win or lose, and not that my mom would ever do this, but my mom came up to me and she's like, in that second match, you really should have thrown a chicken wing. That half Nelson just wasn't the move, and you could see it right there. I would literally respectfully look at my mom. I love my mom, and be like, so how many wrestling medals do you have?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't necessarily talking about directly after the game. I was talking about like
Just in general.
back home.
Even still, like for me, it's like I want to decompress that night. If you wish to talk to me about it the next day, please do. But let me sleep on it.
Yeah.
I say that once you're beating it at horse at that point. Like, if you tell me something I should have done better, what am I supposed to do? Because I am never going to be in that same situation again. I guarantee you, because of the sports in general, there's rarely a situation that you are going to be put in twice that is going to have the exact same, like, the exact same setup to where the outcome could be the exact same to something there's always going to be one variation that is going to change the choice you make. So bringing it up is potentially adding salt to a wound of a loss, or taking away from the fact that you won.
Yeah.
Because if they tell you something you could do better, even though you won, it's like, so are you discrediting my win?
Don't do that after.
Fair.
Don't do that after the win.
Yeah, that's fair.
Don't do that after the win. Your coach will hammer you into will hammer into you enough at practice if they want you to work on something.
Yeah.
So parents, unless your kid comes to you directly and is like, "I want you to teach me. I want you to help me," then that's different. But parents, remember, you're second to your coach. You are second to their coach. So listen to what the other coach is telling them, but do your own coaching. So
Yeah, I will definitely. Yeah. Do players perform differently when they feel like their parents are watching or judging every play? Okay.
Watching, no. Judging, yes.
Yes.
I was just about to say.
Watching, no. Judging
100%.
yes.
Yeah.
And it's really hard coming from, like, if your parent was like a collegiate in their sport, or heaven forbid a pro in your sport, so you know that they made it to a level that you might not achieve, and you know that they were a higher level. It's like, okay, so like, are they going to be comparing me to them at my age? Like, it is such a heavy weight, and like it can get in your head so easily.
Absolutely. And you know what? Yeah, I'm not gonna add on to that because
I mean, that one's pretty, like, your parents are obviously going to watch, and I would hope every parent wants to watch their kid in their sport. But judging, that's just not. You're either gonna get a resentful kid, or you're gonna get a depressed kid. Those are the only two, because they're gonna resent you and be like, you know what, screw you. I'm gonna go do my own thing. I'm gonna go prove myself.
Yeah.
Or it's gonna be I'm depressed because my parents are judging me. So leave to them. So I'll never live up to their standard. So,
and parents, I'm just gonna let you know right now. Get rid of these keywords. If I was you, I would blank.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Like, come on. I promise you that's the quickest way to piss off your kid.
Unless your kid has come to you directly and asked for tips, they are ensuing those types of answers. But if your kid doesn't want it, your kid will get it from his coach. We'll just leave it at that. All right, next question.
What kinds of sideline behaviors build confidence, and which create pressure to promote healthier support strategies?
Like from parents? We're talking, okay, parents.
Now, definitely, if it comes to silent behaviors, if you're if you're cheering on your kid, that's basically the best silent behavior you need to have to build your own kid's confidence. To create pressure, it's basically like judging.
It's the yelling, it's the judging.
Yeah. And like that's just more self-explanatory. It's like, if to build confidence in your own kid, definitely go there to cheer on your own kid. If you're there to cheer on your own kid, but to also like judge them on their play or whatever competition they're in.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, I think that was pretty self-explanatory as well.
So now we are moving on to the third segment, after game conversations. And this is ones that I kept. I'm not gonna lie, I was harping on segment 2, which I really shouldn't have. But what's the first thing a parent should say after a game?
Okay, I guess a better question is, do you think your parents should say anything after? We'll start with a loss. Do you think your parents should say anything after a loss?
To be honest, if grateful my mom did not come to any of the high school games. I was grateful. Okay, I would say if my mom did witness us losing a game, I would. The only thing that I want my mom to say is like,
Good job, or
yeah, or
you'll get 'em
something
next-
like that.
You'll
It's
get 'em
like,
next time.
yeah, like support, just pure support.
Support. Okay.
That's the only thing I want my mom to say.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going for.
Yeah, like a hug, something like that, and just support.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, after a loss, just give me a hug.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't say you'll do better next time. Don't say just leave it silent, because like if I have something to say, I'll say it. And yeah, like, or you know what? Honestly, weight in my heart. Talk about what we're eating afterwards.
Give me food. Give me food.
Like after a loss, just be like, it's okay. It's okay. We're 15 minutes away from a Sonic.
Give me some Culvers, bro.
Ooh, so depending on where we were traveling, some Brahms.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I don't think I've tried that.
Brahms is a southern thing.
Oh yeah.
Brahms is southern.
Okay. Yeah.
You got to go down near Oklahoma.
Okay.
You can get some in like Wichita, Kansas. You can get,
Oh right, there is some in Kansas.
yeah.
You need to bring some up here.
And there's some in Iowa too. It's spreading. Brahms is basically like Culver's with a mini grocery store in it.
Oh, it slaps, bro. Let's just say it slaps.
Yeah.
It slaps.
It slaps. Definitely, my thing would be if my mom were to say, "You want to get Chinese food?"
Yeah.
Weight in my heart.
Sound like saying you perked my interest.
Yes.
You piqued my interest.
You piqued my interest.
I'm sorry. Did I seem upset after that loss? So like, we're getting crab rangoons, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, Mom, I'm kind of sad. Can you give me a cheeseburger?
Large fries.
extra Coke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, like after a loss, just kind of like remind me of other things that are going on in life. Like I remember one time after a really big loss, one of my teammates came up to me and she's like, "I know that was hard, but my birthday party is in 3 days." And I'm like, phenomenal.
Fire.
To be honest, I'm like, you know what? You just
I think get your mind off the loss.
Mhm.
If you sulk in it more, the wound's only gonna get wider.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I'd say to parents. Don't let the wound get wider.
Don't widen it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? Let's move on to the next question. What is the worst thing they can say in that moment?
Kind of like you said, if I were you in this situation.
I think I got one better.
Okay.
When your brother was in the sport.
All right.
Wrap it up.
Right.
Wrap it up.
Now.
Wrap it up.
Granted, my brother didn't really play football like that, but I would have other. You know, I've actually kind of gotten lucky with this one because I never really had that moment with my mom. But I would say definitely comparing to your sibling is one of the worst things.
Coming from an older sibling, my parents never compared what I did to my little brother. They would tell me they wish he was confident than me, but that was to me directly to kind of like, prop him up and to make him more confident in himself.
It only makes it worse too if it's like your younger sibling.
Yeah.
Like it's not like parents, if you have 2 kids in the exact same sport, be grateful that you have 2 kids in the exact same sport, because that can be something that builds not only your relationship with your kids and their sport, but also their relationships with each other. But never ever weaponize that, because that is not only the quickest way to lose a relationship with your child, it is the quickest way to
put a divide.
Yeah. Not only that, but turn siblings against each other.
Yeah.
Because if you do that, then potentially that younger sibling is going to resent their older sibling, and their older sibling is going to have no idea why. And it's going to go unsolved and unsaid for so long, because the older one's not going to know what's going on, and the younger one's going to be too proud to say anything.
Yeah.
There was definitely a little bit.
So another thing, and excuse my language when I say this, but I don't have to say it with bad language, but it's like, dang, that team like whooped y'all.
Yeah.
You don't have to remind that. That person whooped you. You don't have to remind that.
Yeah.
And technically, we kind of said majority of this already for segment 3. So moving on to segment 4, pressure, expectations, and burnout. What's the difference between pushing a kid and pressuring them?
Pushing them is when I feel like they ask for it because they'll get pushed enough. They'll get pushed enough from like their coaches and stuff like that. But if they're asking to get pushed, if they're asking you to help them, then they're pushing. But if they're not really asking for it and they just want, you to just kind of like be there and be their support system, and you're still kind of pushing, that's when pressuring can come because it's like, I mean, your kid's gonna want to live up to their parents. Of course, every kid's gonna want to live up to their parents' expectation. What kid wouldn't?
Mhm.
So it then becomes this unneeded and unwanted pressure building up because you're trying to push them, but it ends up becoming pressure. So
To add to that, a kid's gonna push themselves.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like
especially if they love their sport.
oh yeah, they are going to push themselves, and a parent's gonna see that.
Mhm.
And so the difference is you can support them in their push. You can be like, hey, I saw you practicing a little extra. Do you want private lessons? Do you want more time with the coach? Do you want me to invest in stuff for our home? Pressuring them is not seeing them do that push and then being like, hey, I saw that you've been just kind of laying around the house, so I signed you up.
Yeah.
I signed you up for private lessons.
Yeah, you're not practicing
Yeah.
enough.
Oh, I saw that we had a little bit extra room in the garage, so I got XYZ equipment for you to now practice with at home. And it's like that's pressuring because they're like, well, they just spent the time and money to do this. Now I have to do
Yeah.
it.
Mhm.
And so it is an extremely fine line, but it is purely on the kid's attitude towards the sport.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you already talked about pressuring. Now, one more thing I want to add to to pushing. My bad. Now, I want to add one more thing to pressuring, and that is, parents, do not compare your kid to whatever friend's kids or whatever another person's kids.
Ooh, yeah.
That's one of the worst to be like, well, they're doing this. Why aren't you doing this?
Yeah, that's a bad one.
Because it's like you don't know what I'm doing.
Every athlete's different.
Because if I'm probably doing this in secret, and I don't want everybody else to know. Well, if you're looking at somebody else's kid and you're like, "What you doing? He's doing."
Oh, I had so many people asking me why I didn't do preseason training, why I wasn't doing like private training sessions with my coach. I'm like, because you guys don't understand. I already have my own coach that I do private lessons with. Just
Mhm.
because it's not the coach that you guys see doesn't mean I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
So just assuming that just because you're not seeing me do what you think I should be doing means I'm not doing it is completely wrong.
So then I'm looking at the next gen. They kind of like answer each other. So it's how can a parent tell when they've crossed the line? And then do some athletes feel like their parents' approval depends on how they perform? I feel like they are the answer. Like, how can a parent know when they've crossed the line? When an athlete's performance becomes their approval or disapproval.
Yeah.
So I just feel like I never felt like if I lost, my parents were gonna like love me, and it's when it gets to that point where it's like, oh, if I don't win, my parents aren't gonna, my parents' love for me goes down.
I have something to add to that. There was once my junior year I wrestled up against this girl. I was winning. It was the last round and she shook my hand and she started crying. And she whispered to me, "If I lose, my mom's going to be so pissed."
Yeah,
And
it's when it gets to that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm over here like, oh my goodness. That was the one time I felt bad for winning because I watched her mom grab her arm and walk her into the hallway after that loss.
Jeez.
I wrestled against her school 2 more times that year. I never saw that girl again.
Oh my gosh.
I wouldn't even play sports anymore.
I know.
If my mom or
I
dad or
know.
granddad did that.
Yeah, because believe it or not, again, the advice thing and like the kid not wanting it, that's not crossing a line. That's just the kid not wanting to hear it. And
Mhm.
parents, you should still respect that, but that's not crossing the line in any sense. That is crossing the line when it
Mhm.
becomes,
Absolutely.
if I don't win, my parents won't love me. It's when it becomes that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
those two answer each other. How does burnout actually begin in young athletes?
It depends.
This is a very like subjective. It's not objective.
Yeah.
Or is it the other way around? Is
That's a great
objective
question.
is objective the truth or this subjective the truth? I think it's
We're going to put a pin in that.
gonna look that up.
But for me, like what I think is burnout starts when competition starts. Once you start getting to that level where there is a clear divide between who is the best and who is still needing to put the work into it, that's when burnout starts. Because that is when you're starting to push yourself to the limits and finding where your limits are, and oftentimes pushing yourself past those limits, leading to burnout. So burnout could potentially start going into high school when you're trying to make varsity. It could happen in high school. Again, trying to defend varsity, trying to go to state. It can happen, especially a lot going into collegiates, starting that recruitment.
Yeah. It is objective.
Okay.
Objective is the ultimate truth. Subjective is there is not an ultimate truth. So this is a subjective question.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's kind of where I stand. Is it can start when competition really starts to get applied.
It definitely can start. Even besides those, it definitely start when the pressure like kicks in. Like whatever pressure it is, like I can't do this, or like I'm failing myself or something like that. Some kind of pressure that immediately is like will get you to that. That's when that burnout like officially begins. Are kids today being overtrained or overscheduled by the people around them? To be honest, they are.
When you say overscheduled, what do you mean?
I'm thinking about like they're scheduled to train literally every day.
Scheduled to train.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think yes.
Especially with social media too. So I feel like that.
In high school, I've talked about it the last episode, how I had training in the mornings. I would go to school, I'd have practice at night. I know some people, some of my teammates, they would have training in the morning. They would go to like 2 in-person classes and the rest of their classes were online because they had more training during the day and then practice and then like post-training and recovery after practice. Like there was this one girl on my team. She was absolutely massive. I never, and I mean never, saw her outside of the wrestling gym or outside of like tournaments. Like the only thing she would ever post, we never heard about vacations. It was only ever training. Her social media was only ever training. Like she didn't even go to prom.
Oh. It is.
She's an Olympian now, but like.
Okay, question. Is that different for girls and guys? Is prom a huge thing for girls? Because for guys, I feel like for a guy, it's like kind of.
But it's a thing. It's a once in a lifetime thing.
You get it for 2 years. Is it bigger for like?
I would say it's bigger for girls because it's like I don't know, but also it's just like it's high school.
Yeah.
Like if you don't like, I'm not saying you have to go to prom because there are a number of reasons not to go.
Yeah.
But it's like she was popular. Like people. She was the type of person that you would expect to see at prom. But again, she was popular, but never seen outside of the sport.
Now we are going to move on. Okay, I actually forgot to say this. I'll also say overtrained because depending on like what they're doing to their bodies.
Yeah.
If you don't have, here's the key thing. You have to let your child rest. If they don't get rest, they're not going to improve.
Yeah.
They are just going to become stale.
Yeah.
Or they're just like whatever approvals they're going to have is just going to stop.
Yeah.
It's just going to peak and then just stay right there.
All right. Moving on to the next segment.
For segment 5, college dreams and long-term perspective. How realistic is it for most athletes to play at the collegiate level? It depends. Well, it depends
on the level. It's like, do we want to pick a level and stick to it, or we just want to choose all collegiate?
Let's say D1. Let's just go D1.
D1 is hard.
But it also depends on the sport.
Yes,
it is hard.
Yeah,
basketball's hard. Like
football's hard.
Basketball is hard because you get 15 spots. So a coach is so selective. Like I know some dogs who I've played like park basketball with, and they were like, the coaches are so selective because they only have 15 roster spots. Basketball's hard. Yeah,
and wrestling on the other hand, like not necessarily Nebraska wrestling to be specific, but wrestling is completely different. I have seen teams just absolutely hoard people because I mean there's 12 8 to 12 weight classes, depending on your school.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But you also have to think about there's usually 4 people per weight class too, because you have to have your first string. You have to have someone on your first string's level to then practice with, and then you have to have 2 second strings.
Oh, wow.
And what I really like about wrestling is the first string can always fall. Every single week before matches, they have practice matches to decide who's first string that week. So a second string could come up and take that first string spot.
Yeah.
So yeah, wrestling is the type of sport to where like it depends on your level, but you have a lot of higher chance at going D1 because coaches need just those practice dummies to get thrown around.
Yeah.
So it might not be that first string spot you're dreaming of, but D1 is D1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when it comes to football, it necessarily depend. It does depend.
But football has a lot more roster spots than a sport like basketball or soccer
Yeah.
or
A lot of people,
Volleyball.
if they wanted to
then,
go,
volleyball.
volleyball.
Yeah. That's a tough one.
yeah, if a lot of people wanted to go D1 in football, it definitely depends on the size and weight you are.
Yeah.
Another
That's like a bigger thing.
How tough, like how many spots are there in baseball? Do we know that, like roster spots? How many roster spots? Because I'm like trying to put like levels to this. I think basketball is the hardest sport to
Well,
go pro in.
there's
Because then you got to deal with, if we're talking even pro, then you got to deal with overseas players.
oh yeah.
Even college.
Yes.
You have to deal with overseas players in college at a D1 level.
Shout out to our Turks.
Burke, Ring, shout out to you guys.
Yes.
I mean, it's difficult.
Well, another factor of being a D1 athlete is how many D1 programs are there in the USA? Because if it's like football, almost every college
has a
football program. But does every college have a volleyball program? Does
No.
every college have a women's soccer program?
No.
Exactly. Like women's wrestling D1, so hard to get into because there's only 8 D1 women programs.
For baseball, it is 26 to 28 roster spots.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know how many foreign baseball players are taking D1 roster spots. So
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not saying foreign players don't go pro, but normally the foreign players take the pro spots and not the.
I was about to say you'll see a lot of Filipinos come up and just
Dominicans.
Well, like
completely.
Shohei Ohtani didn't go to college here. He just went to the pros.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but like for sports like basketball, you're dealing with foreign country-born people. Like you can be really good, and your roster spot can get revoked because they found someone better in Turkey or something.
You also got to keep in mind GPA because you got to have a GPA to get into a Division I school.
You cannot be a dumb rock.
Yeah, if you don't have that GPA, you can't go to any Division I school.
This is something we were talking about the last episode.
Yeah.
You could literally be the needle in the haystack for a recruiter. And if you have anything below a 3.5, all of a sudden you are bottom of the barrel for that.
Okay. Next question. Do parents sometimes want the outcome more than the athlete does?
Yes. It can get to that.
I know.
We've talked about this in our first episode, and one of the first episodes we did. Parents, don't live through your children.
Exactly.
Do not do that.
Oh, I know plenty of people that are like, oh yeah, like I love that my son's a football player. I can't wait to be a D1 mom. Don't not be living like that right now.
Come to find out, the kid's a freshman in high school. Like, okay,
yeah, kid's a freshman in high school, 4 minutes of field time, and is already thinking about leaving. Like,
yeah, kind of crazy.
Yeah.
What?
That bro probably wants to go do speech and debate or something.
Theater.
What do coaches actually value beyond just talent? Grades, GPA,
humility, huge. I don't think that's talked about enough. That's why don't get me wrong. If I hit a nice little 3, I'll do a little 3-point celebration. Don't get me wrong. I hate trash talking so much. I hate when kids do it. I hate when players do it because you have to be humble.
Yeah. Not only humility.
English,
but also sportsmanship. That is not something that comes naturally as an athlete. That is something you have to work at, because there have been plenty of times that I have lost and have been taken off the bracket, so I'm no longer wrestling that day. I will sit by a match and just cheer on whatever girl, any of the girls. If it's someone I lost to, phenomenal. Because in the end, I still want to see those other girls succeed, because what is the point of playing someone if they cannot get better?
Yeah, absolutely. If a kid wants to quit their sport, how should parents respond?
You have to help the athlete to look at every angle, because you'll definitely, like, as you get ultra competitive, kind of like you said, you will lose kind of a spark. But that doesn't mean you're not like, but you won't lose that passion ever. I think it's whenever you lose the passion and not the love that you should quit.
Yeah.
That's what that's what I think.
Let me ask you this. And this is especially towards parents.
Mhm.
If you want to quit your corporate job and you go in and tell your boss XYZ why you want to quit, and your boss goes, well, we've invested this much in it.
Yeah.
We just think that we're going to keep you in this office job for a couple more years. How would you feel?
Yeah.
Like, if you work up the confidence to, because again, like David said earlier in this episode, this is that quitting a sport is not something that happens overnight. It is not something you just wake up one day and is like, you know what, I had a really bad practice last week, let me just leave the sport. It takes confidence, and it
Yeah.
is not easy to tell someone that you want to leave a sport, because you're not only potentially letting yourself down, but your teammates, your parents,
Yeah.
your coaches. And so if your child comes up to you with enough courage to tell you that, listen to them.
Absolutely. And this kind of goes into the next question: is quitting always a negative, or can somebody sometimes be the right decision? Yes,
It can be the right
it
decision.
can be the right decision.
Like when I quit cross country, that was like that like opened doors for me. Like my junior year, I didn't train as much, but that was just me being lazy. But like my senior year, because I quit, I was able to invest so much in summer league, so much in just putting in that work, shooting drills, defensive drills, whatever it may be. If I had my parents like, no, we're gonna make you do it through your senior year, I would not have been able to do that, because I would have then had to devote my attention two ways. And then when it came to actually, because there was then fall conditioning for basketball, I would have had to do cross country. I wouldn't have been able to try and get in shape and play at a new level. So it can definitely be the right thing.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
Nothing to add there.
Yeah. Now this next question, long-term success in sports looks like beyond wins and stats. I guess just long-term health. As long as that kid has,
relationships. Some of my
Yeah.
best friends have come from the sports I play. Even when I did, like, one of my ride or die day ones today is from when I started cross country in 8th grade.
Oh, no, I was about to say, like, one of the girls that, like, has seen me, my highest, my lowest, my best, I met because I did volleyball for a summer.
Yeah. Shout out James Ledger, by the way.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Ava.
so but it's that, yeah, I mean, there's so much more than stats. Like sometimes I like going back and watching some of my old film because it's just fun to see how far I've come. But just the relationships and what I was able to do in high school for a sport is because a lot of people don't get to do that. A lot of people don't get to experience what I've experienced. Like just even the fact that I was on varsity, like I overlooked that a lot.
Mhm.
Because a lot of kids didn't get that. They didn't get those experiences.
Yeah.
So it's just, yeah. There's so much more beyond stats and wins.
Mhm. I was going to say just mental health and just physical health as well. As long as you
Oh.
come out like mentally and physically okay.
Especially physically. Like
Yeah.
you got to stay in shape as an excuse. So it's like,
Yeah, you ain't got a choice.
yeah.
Okay. Now we are moving on to the reflection round. We're going to skip the first question because technically we should ask any other athletes about that. Do you think most kids feel supported or pressured by their parents?
I would like to think that they feel supported.
I would hope supported, but I know, like, from my personal experiences, I've seen supported.
Mhm.
I can't testify and say like there was ever pressure.
Well,
No. There was one kid. There was one kid my freshman team, my freshman year, or
Oh,
not
yeah.
my, who was a freshman my senior year, who I could see his parents pressured him. So
Well, it's another thing also. pressure can be pressure can be painted as support.
Mhm.
So people can think that it's support when it's actually pressure because you don't know what happens once they leave.
Yeah, absolutely. What's one thing parents do that helps the athletes the most?
Support. That's really all it is.
Yeah, that's all there is. What's one
Space.
Oh, space is another thing. Space is another thing.
Yeah.
What's one thing parents do that hurts athletes the most without realizing it?
Without them realizing it, critique.
Trying to live vicariously through them.
Yep. Now for the last one, if you had to give every sports parent one piece of advice, what would it be?
Your kid is in the sport from themselves, not for you. Do not push them to be in the sport for you.
Yeah.
I'll go with that.
Nothing to say.
Yeah.
Nothing to add.
Well, that was a good podcast episode, everybody. That was amazing. Now, okay. Now for closing. All right, everyone. That is it for this week's episode of Game Time TV. If you like sports, if you like athletic-based content like this, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below if you're on YouTube. And if you... Game Time TV is also on ARNU and all other podcast streaming platforms. This is Lauren signing off.
This is Hallie signing off.
This is David signing off.
And we will see you later. Peace.